Oh, hello. We are going to go a little more glam today. I'm going to do a bit of heavier coverage and more of like a full hack for you today. Since I've been doing a lot of simple looks, we're going to go a little bit more intricate. I've got my colors. I am ready to go with my favorite coverage brush. This is the Buffy brush. My dogs are barking. And I'm going to start with Sandy, which is my all over color. And I'm just going to dab it where I want coverage. This is replacing essentially your foundation. So where you would normally put foundation all over your face, you do not have to do that with cream, with highlight and contour, because I'm going to put something else right here, so I don't need to do that. And I'm not going to go all the way up my forehead, and I'm not going to go all the way under my eyes, because you're going to see why. So I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to take my lighter color, which I use Candlelit, and I'm going to go right under the eyes. And I'm going to also put that on my eyelid as a primer for my eyeshadow later. And I'm mostly dabbing. So you're going to like dab your makeup on instead of kind of swiping or smearing it on. We're going to do a lot of dabbing into place. Now I'm going to take this straight down my nose. This is kind of anywhere I want to brighten up my face. So I'm going just right in the middle of my forehead, straight down my nose. I'm going to put a little bit down here too. Remember, we're going a little more glam, a little more full coverage. Okay. So I'm kind of done with my base. We'll go back in and blend a little more later. I'm going to switch brushes and go to my detailed hack brush, which has like a dense side. And I'm going to start my hack. And what you're kind of doing is coming from like the top down. So kind of like right where that hair line starts. Create the shadows in your face, the dimension in your cheekbones, help that pop. Okay. And then I'm going to take it along my jawline. Again, just creating that natural shadow in your face. Okay, and then lastly, I'm going to do up on my forehead. And if you look at it, you're kind of making like a 3 shape, okay? If you want to add in your nose, you flip that brush over and lightly, more on the top, not the side, but you're going down and kind of like creating that, again, shadow. I kind of just throw this last. I don't like to waste products, so I usually just throw whatever is left on my jawline. Buff that in a little bit. We're gonna switch brushes once again. Our brushes are amazing. Like, even if you don't use the product, these brushes are the best I've ever used. But if you do use the product, you have to get the brushes because they are made to work with the makeup. So I'm going back into that base color again, Sandy, because I didn't do the bottom of my face. And we're just gonna kind of buff in those harsher lines. And then, like, see how I didn't put anything here yet? There's a lot of redness in my face. I'm gonna cover that up. Bring it down. Buff in those lines. Buff in the lines up here. This side of the brush is so good. It's like, I feel like it's like a Photoshop brush because it's like really dense and it's good for buffing in all of the different colors. Because like I said, you didn't layer your face. You didn't put one whole thing on your face and then another thing and then another thing. Like you put in, it's like color by number. You put in where you need the colors, where you want the contour, and then you kind of blend it all together to get a finished look. Already you can see a huge difference. So we're gonna get some bronzer action going. This is Bella. She's a cream bronzer. It's all she's. I actually like to dip that in and then go into this one, which is a new illuminator. I think it's called Dolce. Yep. So it's a cream illuminator. I like to mix my bronzer in that because it gives it just like a pretty glow, but I'm extra, so you do not have to do that. But we're going glam today, remember? So I like to get a little bit extra for bang for my buck. And bronzer, you got to go where you want your face to be warm. So I'm going more like above my contour, a little bit on my forehead up here, and then I'm going to do a little bit down here. Okay. I know she looks a little crazy. I take this other side and just kind of like blend that little spot right here. Okay. So then we're going to take this big fluffy brush side and kind of blend that all together before we add some blush. So I'm doing like a fuller face, like I said, fuller coverage, and I've already only been doing this for 8 minutes while I talk to you. So it's just so easy. It's just one of the reasons why I love it, because it's just really fast and I feel like anybody can do it, and you get the hang of it the more you try. The more you find what works for you, you'll figure out how you like your look. So next we're gonna get our blush out. This is a different brush. They're just so good. And I'm going to get this Tropicana, which is like a kind of like a peachy pink color, and I love it layered on top of Bella. It's hard to see the pigment in this light because it looks way darker than it actually is. And a little bit goes a super long way too. You don't need a lot. So that's all I've done for my whole face. I have my base colors, my brightener, my bronzer and my illuminator, my blush, and my contour. And then this one right here, this one right here is a lip conditioner. Malia, please don't play with that. And I just throw that on. It's like, that's lasted me. I got it in October of last year. But my lips are always so dry. It's so nice to have that. So that's your whole face. What I like to do next is grab a setting powder, which I like to use the Morphe one. I got it at Ulta. I think it was like $8. And I've tried a lot too. So this is the best one I've tried. And I just grab my sponge, damp, make sure it's damp. You don't want to use a dry sponge. And I'm going to bake my nose first, which means like I'm going to add, you okay? I'm going to put a good amount on my nose. And I'm going to let that sit on my nose for a little bit while I go in and do mostly my T-zone, mostly where I get oily. I like to put it on my eyes too though, because it kind of like sets it before I put my eyeshadow on. And then down here. So anytime you use a setting powder, it is going to mute your colors a little bit. So if you like a matte finish, you want to go a little heavier on everything else, because when you go in to do your powder, you're going to kind of tone down the color that you put on your face. Obviously, I know I look a little crazy with this on my nose, but my nose tends to get this like super oily. So I like to just wait and kind of let it like get in there. It's the only way I could think of to describe that. to say that situation. Okay, so I'm gonna get my bottom side of my compact, and it has all my eyeshadows, and I'm gonna start with the base. I like to start with this color, which you can barely even see it anymore. It's called Stay Golden. It's just like a really nude, yes, nude color. Who else is just like quarantine life's got the kids all over the place? And you're using that as a base, okay? So I put that all over my eye. And then I'm going to grab Sabrina, which she's like a shimmery color. And I'm going to put that under my eyebrow. Okay. Now this is look I pretty much do every day with the eyeshadow, is like just that color, those two colors, and I throw on this one. It's called Bird. It's a matte brown, and I like to just come in on the outer corner. Okay. And then we're going to take Bright Eyes, which is a shimmery brown, and I'm going to kind of step it up a notch. And I'm just going to put that right in the middle of my lid, because we're going a little fuller glam now. And then take this gold one, which is Blondie, right on the inside. So you did Bird, Bright Eyes, Goldie. So that's kind of like a more, I forgot I still have my nose on there. Take your blender and just dab the nose after you bake it, after you set it. I totally saw it, but I forgot. Okay, so now you have a bit more heavier coverage that I've been showing you. Still looks natural, still looks nice. Doesn't look like you're going to the club. I've always with the eyebrows, ladies. Do your eyebrows, eyeliner, no eyeliner, totally up to you. I tend to not do eyeliner during the week, and then I'll do eyeliner on the weekends. But mascara every day, eyebrows every day, and then you're good to go. 15 minutes.